It is less than a fortnight until nicotine vaping products will be available without a prescription, but only from Australian pharmacies. Under the new regulations, pharmacists are required to have a detailed therapeutic conversation with each customer purchasing vaping products. Major pharmacy chains and numerous individual pharmacies have announced that they'll refuse to sell the vape products, and the Pharmacy Guild of Australia says it strongly opposes this proposal. So will this new system help Australians give up smoking, and what happens if pharmacies refuse to sell vapes? Dr. Colin Mendelsohn is the founding chairman of the Australian Tobacco Harm Reduction Association, which is a charity, and he's with me now. Good morning.
Good morning, Susan.
Do you think that this new system of selling vapes in pharmacies will actually work?
Look, I'm quite sure it won't. We've seen the prescription model, which was proposed as a successful and appropriate model for making these products available to smokers, and it was a resounding failure. So the fact is that smokers can buy cigarettes from any corner store very easily without any restrictions. And the more barriers we put in front of obtaining these safer alternatives, the less likely people are to use those methods. And what we found is that when you put really tough restrictions on access, people just go to the black market, and that's what they're currently doing.
So are you surprised that so many pharmacies have actually refused to sell the vapes and vape-related products?
Not at all. I mean, the problem that the government's created is that they didn't consult the pharmacy industry. So they immediately sprung this on the pharmacists without any warning. And the pharmacists have very little knowledge about these products. They've got no training. And they're very concerned about the fact that these are what we call unapproved products. They're not regulated like medicines, and the pharmacists are used to selling medicines, and which gives them some protection. They've been assessed by the TGA, and the pharmacists have legal protection, and they're concerned that they'll be legally responsible if there is a problem because they don't have that backup. And as you say, they're required to give this long and detailed therapeutic consultation for every purchase, and they're not being reimbursed for that, and quite rightly they're upset about that as well.
So that, I guess, for pharmacies, that would raise some resourcing issues, right?
Absolutely. And what's happening with these products is that they are being made Schedule 3, which means that the pharmacist has to not only have that consultation personally, not the assistant, and then has to personally hand the product to the customer. And there are going to be a lot of angry customers because the pharmacist can refuse to give these products. The pharmacist will have to pay higher premium insurance premiums. They may be the target of organised crime, which has been a big problem for in this industry. They're going to need a lot of training. Honestly, I just can't see it working. And as well as that, we know the vapers are very reluctant to go to a pharmacy to get these products, partly because they've got a very restricted range. They have only a very limited number of unappealing flavours, and the prices will be a lot higher. So what we think is going to happen is vapers will just continue to source these products from the black market, and over 90% of Australia's 1.7 million vapers do get products from the black market.
You're hearing from Dr. Colin Mendelsohn, the founding chairman of the Australian Tobacco Harm Reduction Association charity. What would you like to see happen here?
Look, what I'd like to see is what's happening in other Western countries. So Australia is an outlier. For some reason, we've decided we know better. But in New Zealand, in the UK, in Canada, the US, what they do is make these products available as adult consumer products from licensed retail outlets, just like tobacco and alcohol. And these products can then be purchased easily by a smoker. And for smokers, they're life-saving products. And you can restrict access to young people. You know, if a licensed retail outlet sells these products, you take their license away. They lose a lot of money. And that's working well in other countries. And in New Zealand, for example, smoking rates are falling twice as fast as they are in Australia because adult smokers can access these products, and they don't have a significant black market like we do in Australia.
Colin, I wonder what you think about the vaping is such a huge issue with young people because there is the novelty of the colours and the flavours and all of that sort of thing. What do you think needs to be done in the space to help young people who've become addicted to vapes?
Look, I think the first thing is if we regulate these products like they are in New Zealand, we'll restrict access to young people. So in other Western countries, these products are sold from licensed retail outlets and then they're not available to young people. There'll always be a certain number who'll get them, of course. But when you outsource the industry to the black market, they sell freely to young people. And it's very easy for young people in Australia to get these products. And the most important thing we can do is to regulate them in a way like alcohol and like cigarettes, so that young people aren't able to just go freely into a convenience store or a supermarket and buy these products with no questions asked.
Dr. Colin Mendelsohn, founding chairman of the Australian Tobacco Harm Reduction Association charity, thanks for your time today.
Thank you, Susan.
Thank you.